Wait, cancel that break.
You don't get a break.
Listen, Jennifer's between us and cocktails right now. Go. All right, let's go.
Okay, I don't know what that is. That's not my slide. Scott, join my GoToMeeting. I don't know what that is that he's showing. Can you go to the restroom and come back in 3 minutes? I would do 3 because I don't know what they're displaying up there. 5 minutes.
5 minutes, please. Thank you.
Come back, then cocktails. You're not hitting the bar yet. Bathroom. 2 B words. Bathroom, back. No, bathroom, back. You can bring drinks.
I was on the webinar like a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, you were?
For you guys, yeah.
Fantastic.
So,
which one? You remember?
I don't remember. It was about this.
Okay.
So that's all I can tell you. Do you guys take care of another 1 hour? I think somewhere. Don't
New
you?
Jersey.
Is it New Jersey?
We have a New Jersey, yeah.
Do you guys do the Facebook and everything?
I think they have a really small SEO program. I believe we're doing their Facebook and we did their website, and they're blogging.
You were just getting the crowd warmed up too.
I know. It's all right. We're gonna re-go.
To interact with you, and all of a sudden, boom.
I have an
We'll set something up
adapter.
to talk about ours.
Say that again.
I have an adapter that goes from Thunderbolt to VGA. If you want to try it.
Yep, we can try that. The other thing is Scott can join my GoToMeeting from over there.
Somebody's on.
Ah,
Did you do it?
he's on.
Are you good?
We're good.
Ah.
I think that's good. Let's see how that works. It's a little odd. So move it over and close that. Yes, there it is. Because if you want the hotspot on
Right here, it should be fine to keep your phone out. So. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Good job. Yeah, open this. Thank you.
So he's like,
It works with HDMI. It doesn't work with that projector one.
what it was, they tried. It didn't work.
It's the cord. Yeah, that's the cord. Three minutes.
Have you lost?
Good.
Oh, you're good. Okay.
We're golden. Their report is faulty because they tried to report up there and it didn't work on anything.
Okay. We think we've got our IT situation fixed, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Give everybody a couple minutes to sit down. All right, again, I'm going to introduce Jennifer from CI Web Group. Jennifer, take it away.
All right, you guys. Let's try this again. You got to walk, move around, everybody's awake. So I'm Jennifer Bagley. I'm the CEO of CI Web Group. We're a digital marketing agency and the preferred digital marketing agency for Goodman, as well as Amana. So I appreciate you guys being here. And I'll tell you just a little bit about our company. So you know, we started in 2006. We have right around 75 people spread all over the planet, pretty much. I've got a few people with me, so let me introduce my crew because I've got some with me. Where's Michael? I have Mandeep in the back. He's head of our search engine marketing department. You can pick his brain. He's the biggest nerd in the room. We have Scott, head of our video marketing and video production, and Michael, who's VP of operations, and he's out doing some operations, I'm sure. So our team is basically designed, our leadership team is a group of entrepreneurs. We've built businesses, bought businesses, sold businesses, owned businesses. And so our background is a little bit different than the typical marketing person. We don't have any salespeople. All we have is strategists and experts in a lot of different departments. And we've got a 24/7 crew. So we have 3 crews that work around the clock. Morning crew, afternoon, night, 6 to 7 days a week. So it's the only way we can keep up with everything. All right, so the change of the internet. What are some big examples you guys have seen as far as how technology has changed the way that we function as humans? Give me a big example. What is it? It's at your fingertips, absolutely. Anything that you need, pretty much. Want to do research on somebody, you can look them up. What else?
Google, rely on it more.
Google, you rely on it more, absolutely. What else? The guy in our Uber had a printed map that was sitting in the seats, and I was laughing, saying, "Do you use that?" And he was like, "No, Google." Okay, Google Maps. Everything is changing, right? The way people have access to information, the devices that they're using, the number of devices that are available. Anybody have their watch yet? So literally 5 years ago, Google came out and started talking about the fact that cell phones are kind of popular and that you should have a mobile responsive website. And that went through a lot of different iterations. You had mobile versions of websites, you had HTML5 websites, all of these different structures. And then Google came out in April of last year, and it was called Mobilegeddon, and they said if your website was not responsive, they were going to invoke penalties. Anybody see anything about that? Get any notifications? Absolutely. Penalties are not good. That's a bad day online, especially if you've invested funds into a marketing program. Digitally, it's working, you're getting results, and then all of a sudden a rule comes out, you don't follow the rule, you get penalized, and boom, you can drop off the face of the planet. Anybody seen that? A little bit? All right. What are we having to think about now? Should everybody have a mobile responsive website at this point? Does everyone? And we need to get there. We need to get there. What we need to be thinking about and where we're at now is how do I get your website to properly show up when somebody talks to their wrist on a 1-inch by 1-inch device? Or when somebody used Google goggles and they talk to their sunglasses. What's next? 5 years ago, is there a big difference in where we are from a technology standpoint in the last 5 years? Yes? if you notice the incline, the speed of life and technology and how rapidly it's changing, it's moving so fast, it's almost impossible to predict the future. We have our kids going to college for jobs that don't exist. Little interesting, difficult to teach. My son, our oldest son, he's 17, he's in his last year of school, and he came home last year and he was like, I just had a really hard time with my math teacher. He was like, so we had a math problem with some kind of calculus problem, and he was like, he kept saying he wanted me to show the work, and Terrell was saying, I don't understand why I need to show the work. If I have an app, I can take a picture of the problem, it shows all the work, tells me how it got there, give me 3 different routes to get to the same answer, and gives me the answer. Why do I need to show the work? If you think about it, right? What do we actually need to know? What do we need to have in place? So we need to be ready. There's 2 different types of marketing. There's a lot of different types. Right now, there's a big difference between, yeah, you're going to have to shut down your chats. There's a big difference between a digital marketer and a growth hacker. Has anybody heard of growth hackers? Not yet? Okay. So the difference is a digital marketer learns a trade, right? They learn how to build a website, they learn how to do SEO, they learn how to do social media or write content or blog and so forth, and they implement that, all right? And I'll explain a little more in a minute. A growth hacker is constantly evaluating. So their idea, their philosophy is understanding how the business works, from operations, logistics, people, processes, systems, technology, sales, marketing, customer service, and so forth. And they're implementing systems that are cohesive and comprehensive, constantly evaluating them and making modifications, changing. How many of you have a website that was built more than 5 years ago? 3 years ago? 2 years ago? Raise your hands, I can't see you. Okay, how many of you make changes, design changes on a regular basis, at least 4 times a year? Okay, that's going to be, and if it's database changes, meaning data-driven changes versus perception, people, right? When you look at a website, everybody's perception is what drives typically what they think should happen. Is your perception the same as everyone else's? How many of you love shag carpet? Okay, ladies, you love heels, you hate heels, right? It's all the same thing. So the idea is to think more like a growth hacker, which means that you're constantly implementing research, or you're researching, implementing, evaluating, modifying. Research, implement, evaluate, and modify it. And let the data drive. Best example is a website. Old school way of building a website, it's what you bought. It was like a chair. You bought this chair, you were going to own it and sit in it for the next 3 years. The problem is, when you look at designs on the right-hand side, you buy this website, you put it up, and it sits there. And over time, it starts to decline, right? I'm sorry, on the left side. So you see these big gaps in between when you have your website replaced? What happens is the world around your website is evolving. Your site's staying the same. So does it perform better or worse over time if it's not adapting frequently? Thoughts? Better or worse? Worse, absolutely. So you have these big gaps, which means it's not a chair. Okay? It's like our hair. We have to fix it every day. All right? So what we're going to talk about is really how do we compress time in order to accelerate results? Okay? How do you leverage technology in order to convert time to cash? And we can't make these decisions in a silo, meaning you don't want to sit down with only marketing and think about your website and SEO and social and all of these digital or marketing strategies and forget, how does this impact operations? How does it impact customer service? How does it impact your trucks, your sales volumes, your production, your products, your inventory, and everything else? We have to think about it more cohesively. A lot of times, businesses will evaluate ROI. What is it? I can't hear you. You're not going to get alcohol. Awesome, thank you. Okay. Okay. All right. So a lot of times businesses are evaluating ROIs based on old school principles. They're actually trying to calculate, if I spend $1, will I make $1? When in reality, in today's environment, if you implement something and it actually is a predecessor or it helps improve something that generates new revenue, new customers, new prospects, and this is a requirement to make that happen, Is this investment quantifiable in a traditional ROI calculation? You have to think about it different, right? There's so many things you have to do in the digital marketing space that are necessary in order to make something else work better. Does that make sense? Okay. What's the great part about the internet? I'm helping you cheat. Do you have salespeople? Do you have any? Are you a salesperson? Are you married? You're a salesperson. Better than you think. Okay. So, all right. So, what does it do? It works when? 24/7. Do you have office hours? Yes? Do you close? Does your website? Okay. We have to think in that. How do you get your website to become your best salesperson? Right? If you had a salesperson and you were getting them prepared and you were going to let them go on your best, biggest opportunity ever, what would you want to advise them to be or do or know? What would you want? Best sales. So you're taking a salesperson, you're going to let them go pitch a deal, big deal, whatever, 100 units, big complex. What are you going to tell them? What do you want them to do or know? Close the deal. Okay? What else? They have to be knowledgeable, right? They have to be able to answer questions, right? What else? Okay, and so would you want him to look nice? Would you want him to look nice? Yes? Okay, so you'd want him to look nice. You'd want him to be knowledgeable. You'd want him to be current. You'd want him to be able to answer questions. You'd want him to be able to be dynamic and flexible and show the customer multiple options. Yes? You'd want them to be able to propose the value proposition of the benefits, what a high efficiency does to your bottom line. You want them to be able to identify with customer issues. Yes? You guys don't sell products. This is not what you sell. What do you sell? Okay? What else? When a consumer calls you, what's wrong? My toes are cold. Every time I'm sitting in my room, my toes are freezing. I have condensation in my windows. I have mold growing. My bills are too high. One room's hotter than the other room. One room's colder than the other room. You guys are selling solutions to people's real problems. Do you agree? So when I go to your site, if it looks like you sell products, are we connecting with the consumer's needs right away? Okay, so we have to be very careful. All right, leads right into buyer's mindset. There's 4 different personality types. They're all different. Okay, I'm going to explain them. Every one of the different kinds of marketing techniques that you do will get you a different result, and you have to be able to quickly identify with each different personality type, because guess what? They're all not like you. Do you think? We'd love that. The world would be perfect. Okay, so I'm just kidding. All right, each style of marketing produces a different kind of customer. And once you start understanding what kind of a consumer it produces, you're going to know when that style of marketing is needed and what kind of results it's going to produce. And you can even score the leads that are coming in from that marketing effort and properly assign it internally eventually to the right personality type that will meet that type of buyer. Does that make sense? So if you send out a mass email to a list that you purchased, what's the reaction? The consumer's reaction. Okay, here, we'll change this around. When you guys get a mass email yourself, as a person, as a human, as mom, as dad, delete. Awesome. All right? What if it's from a company that you know and trust? You're open to read it. So, email marketing, better for new prospects or better for existing customers? Get them to buy more or refer more? Existing, absolutely. So, does it work? Yes. Can it not work? Yes. Okay? All right. Direct marketing. Okay? What's direct marketing? Any thoughts? It's also called advertising. I hate to do this. You guys go check your mail? What do you do when you go to your mailbox when you get home? What was that? Pick out the junk mail and do what? What's considered junk mail? Everything that's not? Bills. All right. Very good. How many of you, okay, so let me give you a quick scenario. All right, you're not an existing customer of this company. You've never bought from them before. How many of you have made a purchase in the last 24 months from any of these mediums? Television, radio, newspaper, flyer, door hanger. Last 2 years, raise your hand if you made a purchase. What'd you buy? What was it? How'd you find out about it? It was TV. Okay, what'd you buy? You bought Total Gym. You're a late night watcher. I know you. All right. Fantastic. Anyone else? Was that good odds? For this room, a business owner, was that good odds? We had one in what, 100, 200? Is that good? You want to bank on that? We're at a casino. Okay. All right. How many of you have made a purchase from the internet? You went online, found a new company. Last 2 years? Last 2 months? Last 2 days? Are those better odds? Great part is, it's all a reality check, right? If we think of ourselves as mom and dad and husband and wife and family owner and homeowner first, we make better decisions. When we think of ourselves as a business owner and we try and look around and see what our competitors are doing and we grab the mail and we grab the flyer and it's got a unit on it with a big discount and it says rebate and all this stuff on it, we're like, maybe I should try that. We got to go just like, no. We have to stop ourselves and we have to move back to how do we react as people, as consumers, okay? How many of you have clicked on a pay-per-click ad? How many of you know what a pay-per-click ad is? Ads at the very top of Google? Okay. How many of you have clicked on a pay-per-click ad and made a purchase? How many of you click on pay-per-click ads? Your competitors, are you trying to charge them $4 a pop? I thought so. No, you too. This whole table, you guys are open book. All right. How many of you went online on a social media site and you said, I need a referral to a blank? Does anyone know blank? Anyone done that? Yeah? Handful in the back? All right. A referral. Okay? We would think that our customers were the best source of new business, and technically they should be. Would you agree? Referral marketing. How many feel like you neglect your customers, your existing ones? And that's okay. Because it's hard, right? A lot of times, especially in the contractor industry, the only place that we keep our customers' information and leads and prospects is in where? QuickBooks, filing cabinet. Okay, I was trying to be a little more digital current. All right, typically what happens is the only good database that has all of the information on prospects and customers is there's zero prospect data, no lead data captured. It's all in emails because you get a web form or somebody's sticky note because they took a phone call. And the only data that we have that's legit and good is sitting in what? QuickBooks, a financial record. So if our customers, existing customers, are supposed to be our #1 source of new business, is that a great way to make sure that happens? So we need to make sure that we're organized. Data is important, right? Every lead, every opportunity should be going into a CRM system. That information should be captured. You should be keeping track of why they didn't buy. If it's price related, and you guys have a huge promotion, they're doing a big rebate, they're doing a promotion, maybe your energy company has rebates, maybe there's a tax credit for high efficiency systems and it's right around tax time. Would you love to go back to all of the leads you previously spoke with they didn't buy because it was financial? I'm trying to talk fast because I want you to be able to go to the bar. Would you love to go back to all prospects? Right? Like this. Of course you would. They've already reached out to you. Okay. So I'm going to skip this one. Personas. Understanding people's personality types. 4 different personality types. Pretty much. There's a lot more to identify in bio personas. However, top left corner, these are your high Ds. Dominant, results-oriented, competitive. Typically, they're CEOs of companies, sometimes mistaken as jerks. Do you know anyone? They drive big cars. Escalades. Okay. Uh-oh. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you out. I see you, though. Always. All right. On the right-hand side, these are influencers. Okay, this will be the last person on the plane. They'll get on the plane and say, I'm here, we can leave. Yeah, we've been calling your name for 8 minutes. All right, left-hand side, bottom. These are engineer styles. These are analyticals. Anybody know an engineer, banker, financial planner? What's similar about them? Do they make decisions fast? No, do they research? A lot. It takes them a long time, right? They're the ones that research every page on your entire website. They go to Google, they look up your reviews, they look online, they look at your social media account, they want to see what everybody thinks. The dominant people will make a decision very, very quickly, or they handed it to their receptionist, who actually is an S. They're supporters. Those are the individuals who are driven by feelings. Do you know them? They'll be the one at the airport making sure everybody's taken care of. They often drive a minivan. Okay? Everybody has a snack. They have the big Mary Poppins bag. They're pulling out granola bars. Okay? They're not going to go to a website and see a bunch of equipment and be excited. They do want to know, what do other people think? They do want to see families. They want to feel good when they get there. They want to know that you care more than what you know. All right? So, first and foremost, we got to understand who we're selling to, and we have to understand they're all not like us. Because a lot of times we get too involved with our own marketing, we start putting our own perception on there, and we're forgetting about 3 other quadrants of people and personality styles. Getting found, we got to be able to attract people. We have to be able to attract new prospects. You got to meet them where they are. Where are consumers today? Social, okay. Where else? Okay, we'll go back to, how many of you in the last 2 years or 2 months or 2 days have made a purchase online? You researched a company, it was a purchase, a product, a service. Was it the whole room? Yeah. Where are your customers sitting? Where are they looking? I'm helping. Online. Okay? This is where your consumers. How do they search? Do they go on a computer and type it in? In Google? Some. Do they ask Siri? HVAC? No. Let me stop. No. AC repair company, West Chicago. Well, it looked up Cabo because I was just looking at trips. Okay. So they'll talk to their phone, they'll talk to their watch, and they're going to get a different result. Do you know that the results that come from asking your phone a question are different than what comes from typing on the internet? The results you get from being logged into your Google account versus logged out get you a different result as well. There's a lot of considerations. So we have to find as many ways that we can attract different buyers at different times of the year as possible. That's get found. Second, convert. That's up to you. All a marketing company can do is bring people to your front door. It's up to who in order to convert them. It's up to you. Absolutely. Finally, close, and then turn them into loyal customers and repeat the process. The digital marketing strategy essentially boils down to a few things. Research. You guys are pretty simple. You know, for somebody that knows your industry, you've got 5 major key phrases in each industry. They start off with AC repair, AC service, AC installation, AC maintenance, AC replacement. There. You could also throw in AC tune-up. You have multiple variations that people look for. They don't all put in AC. They also put in air conditioner, air conditioning. What they don't look for is cooling. So if you have a page on your website and it's called cooling services, that's a no. That's an action, not a solution or a service. Make sense? Okay, heating side, same thing. Heater replacement, heater installation, heater service, heater repair, heater maintenance. And that switches up to what? What's the other variation? Furnace, same thing. Another variation, heating. People actually look for heating repair, heating service, heating maintenance, heating installation, and so forth. Those are your primaries. There's secondaries, indoor air quality, whole house air filtration, duct cleaning, duct service, and so forth, duct repair, duct design. We can keep going, right, down this entire list. The way that Google works is pretty simple. It's a giant filing cabinet. Have any of you seen, what's the movie? Bruce Almighty. Yeah. You remember that movie? Yeah. Okay, so in this movie, he's standing in this warehouse, right? And God's in this warehouse, and he says, anything you've ever thought, anything you've ever said, anything you've ever done is in this drawer. And it's filing cabinet, right? And as soon as the filing cabinet opens, it stretches across the entire warehouse. Okay, that's Google. Every time you type in a search, all it's doing is opening a giant filing cabinet, okay? Every filing cabinet has a label on the front of the filing cabinet. What else is inside it? Hanging drawers, or what are those? I'm not very good with paper. Hanging folders, and they have a label, yes? And then you have what inside the hanging folders? Those yellow manillas? Manila files, and they have a label. And then you have what inside that? What is in there? Pieces of paper. On the internet, it's identical. Every filing cabinet, all it is sorting pieces of paper that you have on your website. If you have a piece of paper on your website and it says, our services, if I handed it to my receptionist and said, go file this so somebody can find what they're looking for in the future, what is she going to do? She's going to file it under what? Our services. If I go to Google and I type in the word our services, there's 800 billion pages in that drawer. Is that effective? Okay, if I go look for FAQ, same thing, billions of pages. If you type in heating and cooling services, if that's what your page says, heating and cooling are 2 different times of the year. So a lot of times what happens on people's website, they'll take heating and cooling, they'll put them on the same page, and then expect that it's going to produce a result. When literally, 6 months of the year, they're looking for air conditioning services, right? They're hot. And 6 months of the year, they're looking for heating solutions. They're safe. All right. Okay, so we can't mix them. All right, we can't mix them. All right, so digital marketing, all marketing, running a business. It boils down to this. Without clarity, you cannot focus. Without focus, you cannot execute. Without execution, you can't what? Can't drive results. So it's all about doing the right things in the right order at the right time. If I have a website that looks like my 8-year-old built it, and I go invest money in pay-per-click, they click on the ad, they go to my website, and immediately they're like, oh, did I do things in the right order? Absolutely not, because they're not going to convert. They're going to leave. You just paid $4, $17, $70, whatever the cost was. If I invest in search engine optimization, I just got done talking to a customer the other day. He was investing in SEO, spending money on search engine optimization to try and get moved up to the front of Google. But when you went to his website, there was 0 conversions other than a place to convert, other than a button that said contact us. Everybody's different. How many of you love to talk on the phone? Raise your hand and look around. Funny. How many of you like to text? Okay, raise your hand and look around. How many of you are more likely to fill out a form on a website than make a phone call? Raise your hands and look around, because everybody's different. These are important. Okay, how many of you, when you're searching for something, it's one of 1,000 other things you have to get done, and you wish you could just set the appointment to talk to them for like Friday at noon when you're not busy. You were just trying to get off your list. Would you do that? Okay. When somebody gets to a site, the only way we're actually going to convert is if we make sure we meet them where they are, how they want us to be. So we can't just put a phone number. We can't just put a contact us button. All right, we have to do the right thing in the right order at the right time. So when you come to events like these and you listen to somebody, you'll have a speaker that comes on, and maybe they're a social media speaker, and then some twit comes up and tells you how to tweet, and it's exciting, and you're like, you know what, we should do that. We should do that right now because we're not doing it. It's more important to have a clear understanding of what are the functional base that you need to have in place, and what's the next step. It's a progressive. Everything works off of each other. All right, so visitors. There's a tremendous amount of way to drive visitors to your websites. Okay, there's 2 different types of marketing. Advertising, which is called outbound marketing, where you're throwing something over billboards, radio, television, paid ads, the grocery cart bucket seat, right? That's advertising. Did you guys respond really well to advertising? Earlier when I said, do you buy this way? Okay, and you have inbound marketing, which means that you're putting yourself where people are already looking, making sure that you're available, right? So if somebody's Googling for AC repair, where are you located? What city? Woodside? Woodstock. AC repair, Woodstock, Illinois. AC installation, Woodstock, Illinois. AC replacement, Woodstock, Illinois. Are you making yourself present? Are you available? All right? Next, when they get to your website, that matters. People have an instant perception. They can tell if you built it yourself. Okay, what they're looking for, well, let me ask this. I've been helping consult an HVAC company and their sales team on how to ask better questions. One of the questions they were really missing the boat on when they sit down with the prospect is they weren't asking, when was the last time you purchased an air conditioning system? If somebody says 12 years ago, what kind of problem do you have that you need to address? What is it? Price. Right out of the gate, they think it costs $2,000. Okay? So as we go through, we have to make sure the website is addressing those things right out of the gate that work from a design standpoint. We have to measure our results. How many of you have analytics installed on your website? Google Analytics. Okay? If you can't measure it, you can't what? Can't what? Can't improve it. Right? How many of you want to spend money without knowing what your money is doing? Okay, it's important that you're looking at results. If you're not looking at it, somebody needs to be looking at it for you and at least covering the highlights with you on a quarterly basis. Your guys' business changes rapidly. There's a huge difference between the middle of December here and the middle of May or the middle of July, right? Big difference. Okay, infrastructure. So I'm going to go through the basics. These are the basics, and I'm actually going to put them in order for you. The very, very first thing, most important, is to take care of your home. Your home base is your website. So there's a million things to avoid. Don't let somebody else buy your URL for you. Anybody been down the road where you let a marketing company purchase your URL and they kept it hostage? Okay, I see it all the time. I interview thousands of dealers. All right, so don't let somebody else buy your URL for you. You don't want a website that's static, not being refreshed. A website only lasts for 18 to 24 months. That's max before it starts having problems and really, really becomes an issue. I'm not talking about it not producing as well. I'm talking about it really having major issues, okay? Your website, it's not about having a website anymore. It's about having a web presence that has a website, one page per service, so you get in every what? Drawer. You get in every drawer. One page per service. If a consumer is looking for it and you don't have a page on your website that has the proper labels, so without getting too nerdy, it's the link, the title, the header, and the content all has to be focused on one thing and one thing only. So if you create a page and your page says air conditioning solutions, but somebody's looking for AC service, AC repair, AC maintenance, AC tune-up, and so forth, is that page going to perform well? One page per, okay? It's got to have content. No content, no go. Google is deaf and blind, reads by Braille. The only Braille available is text. So you can label pictures, you can label videos, but ultimately you got to have text on your page. It's the number one thing people don't budget for when they're looking at building a site, don't plan for, and I know darn well you guys don't have time for. So get it written for you, okay? Don't hold up a web project so that you don't, all right? Blog. Google cares about three things. Let's say you meet all of Google's requirements. Google cares about three things. One, are you relative? Relative to what the consumer is searching for. We already talked about that. One page per service. Are you current? That's the frequency of new content being added to your site, i.e. blog. Okay? If you're more current than this one is, the last time they updated their website or added content to their site was 18 months ago, you did it yesterday, Google's going to give you more props. All right? The third thing Google cares about is, are you trusted? Tell me this, do consumers want the exact same thing Google does? Are you relevant? Do you have the solutions that I have issues with? Are you current? Do you know the latest technology, best brands, all of the benefits, so forth? Yes? And do other people love you? Okay? Google's identical. Identical. Once you realize that a consumer's needs are identical as Google, it makes things a little bit easier. You just have to make sure that you become a good documentarian and you get those assets online so they can work for you. Okay? All right. Next, CRM system. There's 100 other things on web, but yeah, I know you want to drink. Okay, so next is CRM. Are you familiar with the CRM? There's two types of systems that are considered kind of CRMs. You guys have two very different aspects of your business. The one you tend to focus on the most is dispatching. That's an operational and logistic function. Okay, dispatching technicians, mapping, knowing where their trucks are, and so forth. That's an operations function. CRM on the sales and marketing function is different. That's leads, opportunities, prospects, and customers. Okay, giving people the ability to schedule an appointment online, fill out a form online, all the data goes into a central database, let the system work for you, let them remind you of the appointments. If a consumer comes to your site and their kids are calling them and they got soccer practice in 30 minutes, because this is life, right? And they glance at your site and they're like, you know what, I'll come back to it. I don't have time. What's the possibility of you losing the prospect because they can't remember what they searched for? It's very high, very high. So you have to capture them when they get there. All right, very important. If all the information's in one database, you can sift, you can sort, you can email. Now you can start an email marketing campaign with people who already know you. The likelihood of it working is much what? Higher. Awesome. Okay, reporting and analytics. Don't do anything else until you have analytics. You got to have key performance indicators to know whether you're making progress or not. All right, next, local listings. I'm going to show you guys some examples. Oh my gosh, time flies so fast. Okay. Let me see how this looks. Okay. Important things about this site. When a consumer gets to your site, so I'm going back to websites. When a consumer gets to your site, they need to know who you are, what you do, where you do it, how to reach you, how to reach you, how to reach you, how to reach you, and what do people think about you. It's just 10 things. Okay? You guys will get a recording of this. All right? So, who you are, top left. What you do, notice the pages. What are they? One page per. AC maintenance, AC installation, AC repair, AC service, AC replacement. Heater and furnace installation, heater and furnace maintenance, heater and furnace repair. Indoor air quality, air purifiers, air cleaners, humidifiers, dehumidifiers, duct cleaning, blah, blah, blah. We can keep going, right? All right, and then service areas. Another very important thing that often gets missed. It is relatively easy to get you guys ranked on page 1, position 1 of Google for the city that you have a physical location in, especially if you have a Google business listing with great reviews and consistently coming in as new. The cities that are around on the outskirts of where you have a physical office, that's a little bit more difficult. So if Google's identifying everything on your website based on each individual page, what else in addition to cities do you need, or just gave you the answer. Cities. All right. So in addition to services, you need cities. 1 page per city. All right. Now, how to reach. So they know who you are, what you do. I can do what? This is called a click to call. If you have a phone number on your website, go to your site, tap the number. If it doesn't automatically call from your cell phone, it's not a click to call. Call your web people and make them fix it right now. All right? Click to call. Next, sign up for maintenance. Next, promotions and discount. Next, schedule now. Next, request estimate. Is that a lot of call to actions? We give people lots of options. If they click on schedule now. So this site's using it a little bit different. They're actually using it for sales and dispatching, which is possible. So somebody can choose a time. They can choose a particular service. They can choose from the times that are available. They can schedule online. The system's going to do all the heavy lifting for you. It's going to remind the customer of the service. Your cancellation rates and no-shows are much, much less, and the system's taking care of that for you. If somebody needs to reschedule, push something out, you can do it through the system. Makes it really easy, so you don't have lost labor costs from driving. Okay? All right, another thing. When somebody comes to the site, so they can schedule now, they can leave a message, or they can share a document. Notice this up in the right-hand corner. The other benefit is they have the ability to see all of the conversations, any communication they've had with you forever, all the bookings, appointments that have ever been scheduled, and documents and images. What kind of documents and images could you load to your website that would drive old customers to come back to your site and not forget who you are? What can you put? I'm going to help you. Take a picture of their air filter, upload it to the thing so the honey to-do list, he doesn't have to come home from Home Depot and go, oh, I didn't get it, I forgot the sizes. Simple, right? Okay, contracts, promotions, warranties, maintenance, all of the information that you give to them in paper right now, put it on the site, let them come back, give them a reason to remember you. We've done multiple interviews with groups, focus groups, and asking consumer, what's the name of your realtor? They can tell us. What's the name of your air conditioning heating company? They don't know even if they've had service done within the last 30 days. That's a problem. Okay? All right. So that's a CRM. Landing pages. And we'll come back to that. All right. So local listings. How many of you have got a call from one of these? Yelp. Yeah. City Search, MapQuest, Google, Yahoo Business. Okay. If somebody calls you and they say they're from Google, they're lying. How many of you get those calls? Okay. Google will never call you. All right. So just, yeah, put a DNA, do not answer, and call it a day. They will never call you. All right. There are 65 to 100 local listings that are incredibly important. Why? Because they give you a backlink to your site. Remember I said, are you relevant? Are you current? Are you trusted? Okay, one of the ways that trust comes, A, from reviews, B, from social media interaction, C, from backlinks from valid third-party sites. All of these websites, down here on the left-hand side, we can set up, optimize, manage, and monitor all of your reviews on all the sites for $200 or less. One subscription to Yelp can cost you how much? Okay, just talked to a guy the other day who was paying $4,500 a month for all his subscriptions to all these sites. $4,500 a month. Okay, all of these can be updated in one shot. You don't have to go to 100 different companies to get that done. If you have inaccuracies, which we can show you with a quick report, every inaccurate phone number, misspelling of your company name, address, causes Google to not trust your site because it's not consistent. So they have to be accurate. All right, very time consuming to do individually. Okay, next. Analytics reporting, we talked about that. Local listings, Google business listing. Very simple. If you go to Google and you type in your company name, on the right-hand side, what you should see is you should see your company over here on the site. How many of you have a Google business listing set up? Yes? Very important, because on here and on my phone, if I do a search, that's where the query is coming from. So if you're not in Google Maps, you're not there. You're not meeting people where they are. And you guys all use Google Maps, right? Okay, you all search by your phone. Okay, in order to get that, to make you money, you have to have reviews on Google. If you're getting reviews on Angie's List, who sees Angie's List reviews? Members. Home Advisor. Yelp. If you have reviews on Google Business Listing, that will help your website get ranked on page 1 of Google. Let me see here. Give me Blue Frost. Where are you at? I was showing you this one earlier. Okay, so if you look at this search is for air conditioning repair, West Chicago, Illinois. There is how many pieces of paper in that drawer? Can anybody read that little tiny number? 872,000 pieces of paper inside that drawer. In order for you to make any money, you just need to be like number 1 of 872,000, okay? You have 3 ways to make money on this page. Number 1, pay-per-click. Does it drive leads? Absolutely. Is it immediate? Absolutely. Can you turn it up, turn it down? Can you turn it on when it's in your slow season? Maybe for your fall and spring when you don't have a ton of repair and service business, you guys can kick up your maintenance and tune-ups and so forth. Yes? All right. Next, notice them. They're sitting here as well. Blue Frost. That's a Google business listing. They show up here because they started a really good Google reviews program using one of our applications, a mobile app, to get their reviews. The third listing is number 1 of what? What was that big number up top? 872,000. Awesome. So number 1 of 872,000 pages. That's organic. That it comes from SEO. Perfectly built site, perfect content, 1 page per service. They have new blog posts being added regularly. Trust me, they don't do anything on their own. And in addition to that, we build backlinks and reviews. All of those things combined over time, boom, move you up to the top of the page. For us, the math is pretty easy. In order to move somebody from the back of Google to the front of Google, it takes us 30 days per 100,000. So if this number, when you go to Google, and this is fun to play around with, type in a search phrase in your city. If it says 141,000, you could be sitting there in 30 days. If it says 200,000, how long is it going to take? 60 days, right? These guys, because they had all of the fundamental things done, website, social, search, reviews, local, they had everything, pay-per-click. They were able to get that ranking, page 1, position 1. Mandeep, how long? How long was Blue Frost? 1 month in 30 days. Okay, that's a big money maker and very fast. All right, formal review process. How many of you are actively and formally going after getting reviews? Okay, and are you getting them? Yes? All right, and are they going to Google Business Listing? Awesome. Okay, so one, you need to have something on your website that says, love us, leave us a review on Google Business Listing, and it has a link. Okay, the only challenge with that is it's going to help your website get ranked, but it doesn't actually show up on your website. So there is an application that will help you get ranked. Weathers. All right, on here. So this page, notice it says local reviews for Jacksonville, Florida. This is an application that we integrate. It's called Nearby Now. They have an SEO Pro program that allows you to take a mobile app like this. When you get to a job site, you check in. Here's the benefit. That check-in counts towards reviews and can make it so that you get a new page on your website for that particular city. Every time you get a review, it's considered fresh content. So you have one page per city, fresh content, and you're getting reviews, so you're trusted. Boom. Now your website. So we'll look at this one. This is Brazelton, Georgia, blah, blah, blah. On here, I'm going to scroll down, see where it says heat and air repairs, Sugar Hill, Georgia, air conditioning service. Notice it has the 5 stars. That comes from having this integrated with their website. So when they get a review on Google Business Listing, the review is also posted on their website, also optimized, and helps them gain an additional ranking. Is that leverage? Okay. All right. Social media, quite simple. There's a ton of people that don't think social media is valid. I'm just going to show you just one. We posted this. We were playing around because we're always testing for our clients. Said, forecast today, dog is melting. Stay cool out there. Make sure you have plenty of water. We spent $25 to boost the ad. We had 48,700 people reach, 1.7 comments. We had 494 shares, and they generated 6 leads off the page. Get off my screen. Get off my screen. Okay, awesome. Do you cover Ruskin's Sun City areas? $25, not bad return, huh? Okay, 6 leads off 1 post. And all of the people were sharing pictures of their dogs. So it was really cute. Okay, social media works. Biggest thing is it creates a trust factor because people know you're legit, you're real, you're there, you're reachable, and that other people can communicate with you online. All right, we got 5. Next, SEO on page and off page. That's a long process. Bottom line, you got to be there. I mean, you got to be there. You have to be sitting where people are, and if people are looking on Google, you need to be there. So it's a process to get there. You don't want to spend money on SEO if your website's not designed to convert, because the last thing you want to do is spend a bunch of money on SEO or pay-per-click, get to the top of Google, have somebody come to your website and crap out. I had to do it. We're at a casino. Okay, pay-per-click, we'll talk about that. Sales automation. So in a nutshell, everything has to work together. When you choose 4, 5, and 6 different vendors to do all the work, it's like Sesame Street. One of these kids is doing their own thing. They don't work together. You know, Sesame. Okay, they don't work together. So what should happen is when you get a great review, your social media team should see that, and they should tell the web team should put it on your website. When you get a great review and it comes in on Yelp, your local listing team should say, woo, got a great review, let you know, send it to the designers. Designers create a graphic, they send it to your social media team, they schedule it to post every 175 days for the next 25 years. They send it to the web team, put it on your reviews page, boom, is that leveraged? Awesome. Everything's got to work together. So, research, plan, execute. We talked about this. So first and foremost, these are primary drivers. 1, what is a customer looking for? They're looking for solutions. You guys have to solve problems. That's first. Their toes are cold. Just remember that. All right? Where are customers searching? We've talked about that. Where are they searching? Say it. Online. Perfect. All right. How are customers deciding? You know, a consumer is more likely to trust the reviews or lack of reviews that they see on Google over their mother's recommendation today. If mom refers them to call her HVAC company and they go do research, they're going to pick the company that has the most reviews, and you'll never know that you didn't get the job because they never called. Most consumers are making a decision whether or not to do business with you before you get a chance to get in the door and pitch. Okay? All right, next, geolocation. You guys, most marketing companies don't do well with HVAC because you guys have some complexities that are different. You have an entirely different lineup of products a few times a year. In most places, 4, right? Unless you're Florida. Okay? You have seasons, you have geography, you have promotions, you have different, there are so many different intricacies to your business that it's very, very important that somebody understands your business. All right, so going back as a summary, leverage technology to convert time to cash. The first one is meet customers where they are, not where you like to be, where they are, all right? Choose vendors wisely, knowing what kind of questions to ask. I've literally jumped in and done vendor evaluations for companies and they've went with a different company than ours just because they wanted a third-party coach, okay? Outsource to experts and partner closely. You guys as a business owner, how many of you are owners? Okay, it's our job as the owner to identify what are the things that only we can do. Because that's your priority, right? As an owner, there is a list of things that only you can do. That's your first list. Then start picking down and finding experts that can do the rest. Can I update a website? Absolutely. Does it take me 4 times longer than one of my developers? Absolutely. I don't want to do that. Okay, my time means something. All right, next, solid infrastructure. Perfect the basics. Make sure your website's perfect. Make sure that your local listings are done. Make sure your social media account doesn't look like you closed your business 4 years ago. Then start the cool stuff. All right? Evaluate and report, important. Test, report, evaluate, change, repeat. Be flexible. Be flexible. It's not a chair. You need to be flexible. You need to test. You need to implement. You need to be willing to change and figure it out because it's different everywhere. Keep doing more of what works. Initially, somebody said that price was one of the hardest deciding factors on choosing an agency. When you're first getting started on this, your focus is budget, right? What kind of budget do I have that I can allocate towards digital marketing? The job of an agency is to get it to where you know for every dollar you invest, you get 3 in return. Then is your decision different? Are you basing it on budget or are you basing it on growth? Where do you want to grow? How do you want to grow? What areas do you want to grow? What products do you want to grow? What consumer base do you want to grow? And what do you want your average price point to be? What kind of consumer? What is their average household income? Right? We change. We've got to get past the point of it's based on budget and to the point where we're thinking about where do we want to be. Walk 5 steps ahead, you'll get there faster. Cool? In? All right. So last couple things and we're out of here. Leveraged investment. A leveraged investment, especially one that produces compounding results, is taking one asset, using it across multiple channels for a long period of time and letting it continue to work for you, okay? If I spend money on a postcards as a thank you for every customer that does business with me, how long does a postcard last? 2 seconds. If I create a video one time that says, hi, I just wanted to thank you personally for doing business with ABC HVAC. If you guys loved our service, we'd love for you to go to our website and submit a review. That would be awesome. And oh, by the way, we greatly appreciate your referrals. One video. How long does it last? Forever. Forever. One video will produce more results over time than any printed material. Okay, so make sure all of the great things that have happened in your business, digitize them. You get a great thank you card, you get a personal letter from a customer, they drop off flowers, digitize it. Take a picture, keep it, make it permanent, use it forever, make it leveraged. Compounding means that $1 is going to work and it's going to produce more dollars over time. All right, so because you guys are amazing dealers, we have a special proposition for you. One, there's a lot of you. Each one will get an hour strategy session. Usually it winds up being 2 different meetings, 2-hour strategy session, complimentary. We'll evaluate your website, your local listings. We'll give you reports on everything. So you'll see where you currently stand, what needs fixed. We'll help you prioritize an initial plan. And everything that I have, so this video, this PowerPoint, our contact information, plus I have a great video you guys will love, which is on strategic leverage and some of the topics that we've talked. You guys will get all of that. We are not very good at paper, so we kind of don't have business cards. However, if you grab your phone, I'll show you how to do this really quick. Get your phone. Go to your text message area. You'll get it right now. You'll get all our contact information and everything. Okay? When you get to text, In the number area, type in 44222. And in the message area, type in GPN dealer. GPN dealer. All together, no spaces. And then hit send. You'll get an instant response. Tell me when you get it. That will say, please reply back with your email address. So then you're just going to type in your email address. Hit send. She's fast. Fast. Ladies are fast. You want to say what? Then you mistype something. Okay? So the number is 44222. Type in GPN dealer, no spaces, hit send, then put your email, hit send. You'll get all our contact information, everything. We've got a great webinar series for your winter marketing strategy you guys are going to need because it's freezing here, but it's hot right now. And it'll register you for that webinar as well. You guys are more than welcome to attend. And if you can't attend a live webinar, we will always make sure you get the recording. Has this been helpful?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You want to go to the bar?
Yes.
I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much, you guys.
Jennifer, thank you very much. Okay, that's it. That concludes our meeting section. We have an open bar and appetizers for refreshments for the next 2 hours. During the process, we'll be doing a drawing. We have several things to give away, so listen for your ticket as we're doing this. If you'd like to take some pictures with your awards and your TSM and Vice President, myself, they'll be available. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your business. And again, we're here to serve you. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Where are you guys out of? We're out of Seattle.
Oh, wow.
Then we have New York, and then we have Texas, all over. Florida,
Nice.
all over. Okay. How are you guys
That
doing?
was good.
Was it?
You are great.
Thank you. You are great. Thank you. You're awesome. If you guys have a card, I would love a card.
I should have brought some in, but I did this.
It's a dealer meeting, so normally
I
they
did
don't.
that text thing. So
You got it.
yeah,
So now,
so there'll be something on the
In your
email.
email.
It'll email back.
yep,
Okay.
you'll have all our contact information,
Right.
everything. Great
Right.
job.
Thank you. That was very enlightening. We
Thank
do a lot
you.
with them.
Oh my